And, you know, I got a song called Homecoming King, you know, and it's super deep, but it's basically for anybody that's ever been in the street life or that might get into it or that's been in it, you know what I'm saying? They could all relate to it, and it's a big message in it and stuff like that. That I think everybody really needs to hear, whether you've been in the streets or not. You know what I'm saying? It just will affect people more that's actually been there, you know. But it just made me think about Chicago so much. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people don't know or realize that I even just been looking at stuff like this. Like, it's like somebody dissed me, right, from Chicago. It's like, oh, somebody might ask an interview. So such and such, such and such, what you think about that? And it's like, I love him. That's my brother. He just doesn't know that we're brothers. He's not that smart yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if my little brother, I could put him in the head, I could do this to him. I could do, you know, a number of bad things to him, but once you realize this is your brother, you know what I'm saying? Some people just meet their brother today. Like, oh, you didn't know? Yeah, we met each other at age 21. We didn't even know we was brothers. That stuff is happening in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we could all sit here and agree we're God's children, but then forget that the instance we see each other. Why are you in competition with him? You don't even know him. Right. Because of how fly he is. I can tell girls like him.
When you look at,
he's in my way.
When you look at most like gang conflicts, there are groups of people who are so similar in so many ways. They listen to the same music, they wear the fucking same clothes, they smoke the same weed, and they live usually within like a mile or two of each other, and that they treat each other like they're the enemy and that they want to murder them, when in reality the enemy is the circumstances that they've grown up under that doesn't give them any opportunities. And if they were really clued in, they would want to fucking, you know, unite, really.
Exactly. And a lot of things just happen because we don't use one of the things we have, which is our mouth. You know, like the ability to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many times, very little times that you see somebody like get to talk through something. Or I ran into him, we seen what's up. And then you be surprised how many people that done walk back to their crowd or walk back to their group like, oh no, he cool. He 100. Because he's just like you. You just never knew that because y'all didn't sit down and talk like men. Right. And there's so many people that's dead that could have just had a conversation that saved so many lives. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, oh, he can't rap. He not the best in Chicago. Is that enough for me to come blow your brains out? Right. You know, they say everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, that's true, but every reason isn't a good reason. Right. We could be sitting here, somebody walk past and be like, oh, some bitches. You laugh, I'm mad. So when I see him the next week and I blow his brains out, they're going to be like, hey, Montana went up and blew his brains out for no reason. They're like, no, it was a reason, but it doesn't mean it was a good reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And the violence has gotten so extreme that I remember, like, there's been certain times, like, talking to Big U about, you know, everything that was going on in the 70s and 80s when he was really running around. And he was kind of like a titan of Los Angeles. Right. And he's talking about, you know, being at the bowling alley, or no, the skating rink, and just catching fades over and over and over. People would be coming from all over just to try to fight him because they all had heard that he's this big, strong motherfucker who'll knock him out. And he's talking about just catching fades over and over and over, just beating people up. And, you know, that's not what I want from my son, but that sounds so pure in comparison to like what that situation would look like now, where it's almost impossible to imagine these young gangster dudes just having fist fights and not taking it to an extreme, you know?
To the guns, yeah. And then, you know, the friends that you're around too play a part in it, because it's like, oh, you got friends. Oh, he said you're not the best in Chicago. What the fuck is he talking about? Man, when I see that nigga, I'm gonna do this. Right. Or bro, you should do this when you know, we on his ass when we see him. It's like, okay, you just made a decision. You know that's what our plan is when we see this dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like it's so many people that still have, you know, brothers, cousins, you know, uncles, homies that still be alive, you know, today, if they didn't move that type of way. You know what I'm saying? Or if they thought further into the future. You know what I'm saying?
One of the craziest things that stands out to me is that when we look at the early drill shit, is like this is kind of the early era of these kids having full easy access to the internet. So not only are they gangbanging and running around with guns and shit, but it's very, very easy for them to communicate on Twitter, in the YouTube comments, etc. And that really just amplifies the conflict so quickly.
I think too, another thing is like people give a fuck what other people think so much. You know, it's like the last thing I want is motherfuckers to think I'm soft. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't let them, you know. So I still got to maintain this tough shit over the internet. But it's like you come to your senses, or most motherfuckers come to their senses when it's in person. Shit hit a lot different when you're in person. You'd be surprised who got the utmost respect for you when you see their ass in person. Like, damn, this nigga didn't say nothing to me on the internet, but when he saw me in person, he came to me. You know, and it's like, he's here. He looked like he not ready. He not playing no games. Bro, I just wanted you to turn up.
All right, guys, we hit 50,000 subscribers. Our next goal is 100,000 subscribers. So make sure you click that button to subscribe. We appreciate y'all very, very much. Thank you.